Today, we are going to continue to analyze the theme. Today is about supporting the theme. Now, the last lesson we did was finding the theme, and many of these elements are going to be the same. We're just adding one little piece, and our graphic organizer is going to look just a little bit different. But you already did this in the lesson yesterday, so this all should just kind of just flow together. So let's start. Here is the different graphic organizer we're going to use. I'm not going to say it's new, it's just a little bit different. It's titled Support the Theme. If you glance over this one, you see that we're looking for one word to describe the story. You want to explain how the character changed or grew, which we did yesterday. You're going to pull those two thoughts together and determine the theme. And then you're going to look for supporting evidence to confirm the theme that you choose. You're going to pull evidence from how did they act? What did they say? And is there a line from the story that helps support the theme that we come up with? Now, just like yesterday, I want you to spend some time watching the graphic organizer be completed before you grab your copy and work with your table group. The first one is the one word to describe the story. I chose the word resilience because Rose overcomes many challenges. If you remember in the story, she's faced with one challenge after another, the stopping the steers from trampling her home. She's going to take them down the Chisholm Trail to Abilene. She faced the outlaws and managed to gather them up and put them in jail. She faced there not being any rain and causing a little bit of rain, which then caused a storm, but she managed to stop the storm. Every time she was faced with a challenge, she pushed forth and overcame it. And that is what we call being resilient. Explaining how the character changed or grew. Well, Rose quickly grew from a young, innocent child to a confident individual. It didn't take her long through her strong will to continue to grow, to change from that innocent child to the age 12. She was already creating barbed wire. What is the theme or the life lesson of the story? Well, pulling together the idea of resilience and innocence to confidence, the story conveys that through the resilience and the journey from innocence to confidence, Rose can discover her true potential and make a positive impact on themselves and their community. And how does this apply to everyone and not just the character? Well, we can do that each and every day. There's so many ways that we can give back to our community. And when we give back to our community, then we grow and our community grows. So, although we're not some magical superhero that can fight a storm, we can also find small ways of providing in our community. These next three boxes are finding evidence to confirm the theme. The first one says, what action did the characters take to support the theme? Well, rather than shy away from every challenge that she was faced with, she took them head on. Again, this shows Rose overcoming those challenges, and a word we use is resilience. So, this is evidence of showing her resilience. What did she say to support the idea of resilience? Is she was noticing there was no water, and she stated, I've got to do something about this. So she noticed there was a problem and she decided to take it head on. And so she did. And again, this is another piece of evidence to support the idea of resilience. And a line from the text to help support the idea of resilience was even her mom was grateful to have such a resourceful child. when she was faced with the challenge, she found ways, and we call that resourcefulness. She found ways to take on those challenges and find a solution. She saw a problem, she found a solution. That's resilience. And I chose the movie Zootopia as another book or movie that has a similar theme or story, because the character, the little rabbit in the story Zootopia, is faced with a challenge after challenge after challenge, and she always manages to find a way to continue to do the things that she wants to do, and that's become a cop. So that's also a sign of resilience. So I chose the story Zootopia. And if you haven't seen the story, I recommend you go watch it. It's kind of cute. And now it's your turn. Go pick up your copy of the Support Your Theme graphic organizer. Next, you will see the story Fox again. Go ahead and listen to this story again so it's fresh on your mind. When you are done, you and your table group can work on completing the graphic organizer. And I want to remind you, make it quick. It doesn't need to be a 45-minute conversation. Let's get to the point. Let's get to the point and let's keep it simple. Stay focused. It's a great conversation, but I think sometimes in our conversations, we get really involved. And although that is awesome and it's great, but for the sake of completing a task, we need to keep it straightforward and simple. So when you're working with your group, listen to the story, quickly fill out the graphic organizer, glue it into your journal, and then move on to your grammar lesson and independent assignment. So we are still sticking with the story Fox, because I think it is good to be consistent as we are learning new things. And since it's a traditional literature, kind of fits our pattern here. So I'm going to read the story Fox by Margaret Wilde and Ron Brooks. While I'm reading, I would like for you to be kind of making some notes about the character. And if you and your table group want to pause along the way and discuss the pieces as you go, that works well too. If you decide that you want to listen to the story in its entirety first, and then you guys can go back and discuss the pieces, that's good too. But remember, the things that you are looking for, you're going to want to make sure that you have evidence from the story. It doesn't necessarily have to be quoted, but you do have to be able to find it in the passage. So, are y'all ready to hear about the story Fox? Well, here we go. Fox by Margaret Wilde and Ron Brooks. Through the charred forest over hot ash runs Dog. With the bird clamped in his big, gentle mouth, he takes her to his cave above the river, and there he tries to tend her burnt wing. But Magpie does not want his help. I will never again be able to fly, she whispers. I know, says Dog. He is silent for a moment, and then he says, I am blind in one eye, but life is still good. An eye is nothing, says Magpie. How would you feel if you couldn't run? Dog does not answer. Magpie drags her body into the shadow of the rocks until she feels herself melting into blackness. Days, perhaps a week later, she wakes with a rush of grief. Dog is waiting. He persuades her to go with him to the river bank. Hop on my back, he says. Look into the water and tell me what you see. Sighing, Magpie does as he asked. Reflected in the water are clouds and sky and trees and something else. I see a strange new creature, she says. That's us, says Dog. Now, hold on tight. With Magpie clinging to his back, he races through the scrub, past the stringy barks, past the clumps of yellow box trees, and into blueness. He runs so swiftly it is almost as if he were flying. Magpie feels the wind streaming through her feathers, and she rejoices. Fly, Dog, fly! I will be your missing eye, and you will be my wings. And so Dog runs with Magpie on his pack every day through summer and through winter. After the rains, when saplings are springing up everywhere, a fox comes into the bush. Fox, with his haunted eyes and rich red coat, he flickers through the trees like a tongue on fire, and Magpie trembles. But Dog says, "Welcome. We can offer you food and shelter." "Thank you," says Fox. "I saw you running this morning. You looked extraordinary." Dog beams, but Magpie shrinks away. She can feel Fox staring at her burnt wing. In the evenings, when the air is creamy with blossom, Dog and Magpie relax at the mouth of the cave, enjoying each other's company. Now and again, Fox joins in the conversation, but Magpie can feel him watching, always watching her. And at night, his smell seems to fill the cave, a smell of rage and envy and loneliness. Magpie tries to warn Dog about Fox. He belongs nowhere, she says. He loves no one. But Dog says he's all right. Let him be. That night, when Dog is asleep, Fox whispers to Magpie, "I can run faster than Dog, faster than the wind. Leave Dog and come with me." Magpie says, "I will never leave Dog. I am his missing eye, and he is my wings." Fox says no more that night, but the next day when Dog is at the river, he whispers to Magpie, "Do you remember what it was like to fly? Truly fly?" And again, Magpie says, "I will never leave Dog. I am his missing eye, and he is my wing." But later that day, as Dog runs through the scrub with Magpie on his back, she thinks, this is nothing like flying. Nothing. And when at dawn Fox whispers to her for the third time, she whispers back, "I am ready." When Dog sleeps, Magpie and Fox streak past coolabah trees, rip through long grass, pelt over rocks. Fox runs so fast that his feet scarcely touch the ground, and Magpie exults. "At last I am flying, really flying." Fox scorches through the woodlands, through dusty plains, through salt pans, and out into the red hot desert. He stops, scarcely panting. There is silence between them. Neither moves, neither speaks. Then Fox shakes Magpie off his back as he would a flea and pads away. He turns and looks at Magpie and says, "Now you and Dog will know what it's like to truly be alone." Then he is gone. In the stillness, Magpie hears a faraway scream. She cannot tell if it's a scream of triumph or of despair. Magpie huddles, a scruff of feathers adrift in heat. She can feel herself burning into nothingness. It would be so easy just to die here in the desert. But then she thinks of Dog waking to find her gone. Slowly, jiggity hop, she begins her long journey home. Once you and your table group have completed the four squares and had your awesome discussion, go ahead and glue your notes into your assignments journal. And remember, a strip of glue will do, and a page a day. And don't forget to go back to your Module 4 PDSA sheet and list this what is theme page in your table of contents.